Hi, first graders. So today we are actually going to do some art, and we have been studying insects, and all week we've been writing about ladybugs. So today I thought it would be fun for us to make a ladybug. So in your newest material bag, you should have a white folder, and in that white folder, there's a lot of stuff, but I only want you to grab out one piece of white paper and then the red and the black paper. You will also need some green or some coloring crayons, colored pencils, markers. I have some colored pencils here. I'm going to use those today, but you are welcome to use whatever you'd like. And I'm going to use green because we learned that ladybugs live in gardens and leafy areas, so I'm going to end up drawing some leaves. Inside that same material bag, there's also a black permanent marker. Now it's going to look a little different than my black permanent marker, but it will be a big black marker in your material bag. And I want you to get that out too. And then make sure you also have a pencil because we will sketch before we actually draw and color in. And you'll definitely want to have an eraser because we'll want to erase if we make a mistake or anything, okay? So once you have this stuff ready, go press pause and then go ahead and press play when you are all ready. Okay, so our first step is going to be draw some leaves. So I'm going to use my pencil so that I can erase if I make any mistakes. So I might draw a branch, and yours does not have to look exactly like mine, but I'm going to draw kind of a curvy line going through my page diagonally. Okay, and then I'm going to follow along that same line so that I make kind of a stick shape. Then off of this, because I'm thinking of this as a branch, so I actually might want a brown color too, I'm going to draw some leaves. And if you need to pause at any point, you can. My leaves, I'm going to do a curved line, like a half circle. And then I'm going to start right here and do another curved line going up to that point. And that's going to be one of my leaves. And I'm just going to keep doing this curved line. And then a curved line going the other way. I'm going to keep doing this until my page, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Leaves are not perfect. Until my page is full of leaves. So you can watch as I draw mine, and then you may press pause when you're ready. Finish this up. And I might draw, maybe there's a leaf coming from a different branch because I want to fill the space. Same thing up here. Fill the space. All right, now I have a branch with some leaves. So go ahead and press pause now while you draw all your leaves in the background and you fill the white space. My next step is leaves have veins. So I'm going to draw some veins going through my leaves, which is just a line going through the middle, but it doesn't go all the way. I'm not drawing it all the way to the top. You can. I'm just going through and making those simple lines. Okay, so that was all done with my pencil. Then I can go in and trace. I have a dark and a light, so I could trace the outside with my dark and color the inside with my light. But I might actually use my permanent marker to do the tracing. So after you've drawn your whole piece, you can very carefully trace over all of your lines. So As I do that, I want you to press pause right now so that you can go through and trace over all of your lines. Okay, I have traced over mine. I hope you have too if you're pressing play, but you'll notice I did the best I could, but I still missed some. So I might go through and erase some of those noticeable lines so that those aren't showing in my picture. So your next step is to go through and erase any pencil lines that you're noticing. You see pencil lines, I want you to go through and erase all of those pencil lines. And as I do that, I want you to press pause and erase all of your pencil lines. So you should have gotten rid of your pencil lines, erased those, and now we can go through and color. And you can make the outsides darker if you'd like. In this part. And then you could just lightly color, and you want to make sure you color in the same direction. You don't want to color one way and then color the other way because then you'll be able to see all those lines. I like to color in the same direction on the whole leaf so that you can't see my coloring lines going all over the place. So I keep my pencil going the same direction the whole time. If I need to, I can turn my paper too. So I colored the inside a little bit lighter and did the outside darker. Another thing you can do is you can use your dark on the outside and you don't have to do it this way, but you can just color yours in. And then you could do the lighter on the inside. So I have a light green as well. And remember, again, I'm coloring in the same direction. And if you're using colored pencils, I'm kind of using the side of my colored pencil so it blends together nicely. I'm going to go through and color all of my leaves, and you can color this either dark green or brown, whatever you'd like. As I go through and color, I want you to go through and color and make sure you press pause now. All right, so now I have gone through and colored all my leaves and my branch. And then you don't have to do this part, but I really like to fill my space and color all the details. So I'm gonna color this background. And I'm gonna do it blue, kind of like the sky. But I'm not going to use a colored pencil because that's a lot of space to color. So I'm gonna use something thicker like a crayon. And I'm gonna have my crayon kind of sideways. And again, I'm gonna do my best to color in the same direction and not switch directions. So I'll go through and I can turn my paper if I need to. But notice how when I have my crayon kind of sideways, it actually makes it easier to fill that space than if I had it up and down like this. It's a lot quicker for me to fill this in. So I'm going to go ahead and I like to, one last tip when you color in that background, you can go like this and don't go too close to the edge. And then when you get to the edge, then you can kind of go around the edge a little bit. And notice I'm going to turn my paper. You can always turn your paper and hold it with the other hand and go around to fill that space. And then notice I still have a little white space, so I'm going to go back in the direction I was going and go like that. So that's a little trick that you can do when you get close so you don't scribble on top of the other color. So again, that looks like this. You color around it, but don't go all the way up to it. That way you can color a little faster. Then you can fill in around those shapes and you can turn your paper. I always love turning my paper, it makes it easier. so that it's easier to fill in. You can do the same thing here. You can start by doing the edge if you'd like. Do the edge around or the outline around the leaves. And then it makes it faster for you to fill in this space, without scribbling on top of the other colors. So I'm going to finish coloring my background, and I hope you do as well. Go ahead and press pause now. So I have my background colored in, and my whole background's done, nice and colored. Now I have these two pieces of paper, and this is how we're going to make our our ladybug. So I'm going to take my red piece, and you can make more than one if you want. I'm going to make one big one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move this. I'm going to start at one side and draw a big half circle for its shell or its wings, the exoskeleton part. And then I might do a little curved line going in. You don't have to do this part. But if you want to kind of make it look like it has wings. And then I'm going to cut around this half circle. So I'm not going to cut this part, just around the outside of its half circle. So watch me first before you cut yours. None of this has to be perfect, right? It's artwork. We're all learning. So that's what it will look like. Go ahead and cut your ladybug exoskeleton out now. I'm going to recycle this piece. Unless you'd like to use it for later, you can hang on to it. And then the next part is the head. And you can make the head and the legs out of these if you'd like. I'm just going to make the head. So I'm thinking I'm going to make my head. I'm going to just draw a circle, and I'm going to do it over here in the corner. Draw a circle for my ladybug head. And I'm drawing it first so that it's easier when I cut it out. I don't have to figure out how much to turn my scissors. I can just follow this line, and I know this is going to turn out like a nice circle. So go ahead, and that to me looks like a pretty good size head. You have a lot of black paper, so if you don't like your size head, you can cut a different circle, draw a circle, and cut a different one. Go ahead and press pause now and get your circle ready. Now I am going to trace over my wing lines, and I'm going to give my ladybug spots. Now, if your ladybug is an old ladybug, you might not have spots, right? And ladybugs actually can have other designs too. But I'm going to give mine spots. And if you want to give yours lighter spots, then maybe you do brown spots instead of black spots, because you're showing that your ladybug is older. And then once I have my spots ready to go, then I can actually glue my head on right here. So I'm going to get my glue, and I want you to press pause and get your glue because I forgot to tell you to get glue. You might have different glue than me, and that's okay. But I want you to put your glue on the side. Do you see how that shiny line? That's my pencil line. Put the glue on the side that has the pencil. That way we stick that side down and that side doesn't show. Since I have this glue, I don't need to use very much to get it to stay. I'm going to stick it right in the middle. Then I can glue my ladybug onto her leafy area. So I'm going to flip my ladybug over, put some glue on the back of her. Now remember, as you're doing this, you can press pause. You're using stick glue. It might take you longer to get that glue on there. So I'll stick my ladybug down. Press it down. And then you can either use the leftover black paper to make the antennae. and the legs, or you can just use your black marker. And remember, insects have how many legs? 6. So you're going to need 3 on each side. So there's 1, 2, 3. And they do not need to be perfect. Same thing on the other side. They're going to point down. 3 on each side, so you have 6 total. And then I'm going to draw my little ladybugs antennae. So go ahead and press pause now while you do your ladybug's antennae and her legs, or his. All right, so you have 2 antennae and 6 legs. And now for the eyes, I actually just grabbed a piece of toilet paper and I'm just going to rip a little piece off like that to create my eyes. Now, those are kind of big, so what I might do, I'm going to take my glue, and you could use a white crayon too if you'd like. I'm going to do just 2 little dots and then stick my 2 little, and I just grabbed 1 tiny square, so just 1 tiny square of toilet paper. Stick that eye on. Stick that eye on. Now we have our 2 eyes, and right in the center, I'm going to do a black dot for its pupil. And we have our ladybugs. So when you're all done with this, I want you to share this and your finished ladybug informational text. Share both of these on your Flipgrid.